My name's Victor Alvarez, and I work full-time at Blueprint Tattoo Studio in El Cajon. And on the side, I love to shoot film photography. So I think my first contact with film dates back probably when I just was like fresh out of high school. I had a friend named Shane Coker who does film photography, and yeah, I remember seeing his work and just being really amazed with it. I think he shot mostly digital at the time, but he did bring out film every now and then, so that was what kind of like drew me in more. And I've seen stuff online here and there through Instagram, but never like done like super professionally, I should say. But that definitely got me wanting to like look into buying a camera. I think why I like stick to shooting film, or at least what made me like start, was it's just like the look of film, really. I love like the way people plan out their compositions. I love like the feel of like the photographs, like just the colors. There's like, you always get like that little hint of grain that just gives it like a little more expression and like depth. And I don't know, it's just, I do enjoy seeing like people really plan out their shots more versus like digital, where you can take it like a dozen times. And with film, you're limited on those shots, so you really are just trying to make sure you've got like the right one in that like 24 or 36 exposure roll. Honestly, I think like what else I enjoy about it is there's always different types of film stocks being made, and like each one just brings like something different to the table. I've shot so many different kinds of black and white, and each one like just has its own touch. And like, even though you don't know particularly what it is in the moment, like later down you just kind of compare and you're just like amazed, and then it really does help you find that #1 film, your go-to film for every day. Some's a little more pricier than others, so it's maybe a spur of the moment kind of thing, depending on what your budget is. I think like it's helped me like achieve that by honestly just keeping me more focused on like the overall shot, because it is like a lot of envisioning like how you want it to look. And there's a lot of experimentation with film, like almost every time, even when I do have like a viewfinder or the light meter and everything, like even though I got like the settings right, sometimes it still just doesn't come out the way you'd expect, and sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it could just really bring you down. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just like the way it really keeps me like, I guess, on my feet or on my toes. What I like to photograph the most with film is I've always been drawn to street photography. I would say more so like night photography really like just seems to take like a whole new like field for some reason. I do love like shooting like the same spot during the day, and then you come back at night and just see like how different the environment feels, sets a completely different tone. It could be like a really happy place, and then it just looks like it's like a total like dungeon or something. But definitely street photography is one. I do love like portraiture when I can, and but besides street photography, I guess it kind of falls into I love doing documentation, like just people passing by or just catching them like at their most like vulnerable, I guess. I definitely prefer film over digital. I still have like a couple digital cameras, but it's rare when I bust them out. It's usually if like I have like a friend or family member that wants me to take like something really important, yeah, I'll bust out a digital camera. But for the most part, I get a lot of like good shots just with film. And even then, it's like, I don't know, it's just, it has like a more like emotion to it or expression. You know, like I've seen some cameras where like, or some digital cameras where it does like almost have that film look, but you still can just tell it's digital. Like a lot of times whenever like I look at like photography pages on Instagram who will show all kinds of like film work, like I'll scroll through and then like I'll find like someone's whose is like digital, and even though their page didn't specify it's a film only, like it's still, I can still tell which one's which. Yeah, I think like just like I said, like just just planning out the shots before I actually like press the button. It is a lot of like when I see a shot, I'm not one to like just click the shutter button and just try and like snap something like as I'm going. I mean, when I only took like one class for like film in college, and my professor like had us do projects where like if you see something you like, just shoot it. Like even if you don't even know how to frame it, just take it, and then you can always go back and like reshoot it. So that has always kind of stuck with me, and I always like try to like pass it on to like friends and stuff. Like when they see something, like dude, just take the shot. Like you may like how it looks, or maybe you can find a better composition in that moment that'll make it work. So it's all about like just planning out your shots as you go, and with time, like pretty soon it's just going to become like where you can just pick up the camera and just do the settings without even looking at your camera. If I had all the money, shoot. I mean, definitely the goal is to like, I do want to have like a studio and like have my own little like darkroom set up, have like the film scanners, studio lighting would be cool, like have my own little like portrait like station set up. Unlimited film stocks would be nice. Balling out on some like really like good cameras that you just like envy like YouTube photographers all the time for. But I've always liked the idea of just art being like open to everyone, and I like being able to like share that with people. So in a way, I can see myself having like a studio where like you could have like people come in and do like their developments, or maybe want to like actually like use like magnifiers and figure out how to like edit their photos right then and there, like kind of like a classroom, but just maybe not with as much like of the teaching. Just come and do your thing. Might sound a little basic, but Cinestill is definitely up there. Cinestill 800, I do love the feel of it or the overall look when you're shooting, and it gets by even during daytime. It's a little challenging, but sometimes I like the look. It definitely has a really like rich like color to it, especially during like blue hour, I've noticed. So it's definitely up there, but almost like on the go whenever I need color photography or color film. It's usually like Portra 400. Kodak Gold 200 is also really good if you just start on a budget. I want to say like, I don't want to say that it would be this Bessa that I just got, because I got it like I think like a couple months back. But I mean, it's been really like universal for sure. I love how lightweight it is. But I mean, for the longest time, I was just like really happy with my Canon AE1. That was like my first ever film camera. And that's like my old reliable camera right there for me. I feel like if people gave it a try, like gave film a try like once, they would actually kind of like be more open to it and just see like it's got like its own like inner beauty to it. Like there's just something about film that, like everyone says, it just never dies. Like you can get good shots with digital for sure, but film just, I don't know, it always has like that like homemade touch. Like even like I think back to when I would get like little point and shoot cameras from like CVS, like for going to like 6th grade camp or something and just shooting whatever the hell like caught your eye. Like you just look back and you love like how it just has like that expression in it, or you just captured like a moment that made you like laugh or feel a certain way. I want to say, well, for one thing, if you have, depending on your camera, sometimes loading film can be a bitch for sure. There are some, since I just started doing like a little bit of medium format stuff, I'm realizing the struggle. Yeah, it's out there, but I think just like if you're working with a camera that doesn't have like a viewfinder, like just trying to get those settings right is like key sometimes. And I always like seem to find myself leaning towards just like slightly overexposure, just in case I need to like drop it down, because last thing I want is for it to be too dark and I can't like brighten it. That is one of the limitations with film, that I guess digital does have the upper hand, but it just makes you like think a little more. I don't think it'll ever die. I don't think it's gonna, I can't really see it blowing up like to where like they're gonna make like commercials like, oh, buy this film stock, or like film's back. Like, it's always been around, and there's always like people out and about shooting. It's fun to catch someone who, with like a film camera that you like have seen only in your dreams that you want, and yeah, I could kind of see like society being a little more like getting more adaptive to it, not feeling so weirded out, or like being like why are you shooting that, or what's the purpose of having like a film camera on you. I think it'll become like a little more acceptable for sure, and there's so much talent out there. It's a lot like well, it is an art form in its own, so you are gonna see like tons of people just bringing something new. I'm Victor Alvarez, and I shoot film.